Hey guys, this is Quinn, that's Snazzy iPhone Guy, and this is the final review of the Monster Beats by Dr. Dre solos. Now, before I get started with this review, got to get all the legal acquisitions out of the way. Yes, these were sent to me as a review product by Monster. I did not purchase these. However, even though Monster sent them to me, that does not at all reflect my thoughts and my opinions about the product. So, still a reviewer, still honest and true. You just got to say that now, according to the FCC or someone important in the government. So this is pretty much what you can expect. You get nice packaging here, but that's not what we're going to talk about. You get a microfiber cleaning cloth, a carrying pouch, the headphones themselves, which are inside, and this cord, which we'll get to later. So what we're going to do is open this carrying pouch. It smelled like gasoline in the beginning, and so what I did was threw it through the washing machine. It no longer smells like gasoline, which is good because that was making me a little bit nervous. But apparently it's not irregular. I mean, I've gotten a few people on Twitter saying, yeah, my pouch smells like gasoline too. So I threw it through a washing machine, no problems, no harm done. Everything's still good and dandy. Inside, these are very, very padded. It is a soft shell case though. So unlike the Beats by Dr. Dre Studios, which were a hard case, this is a soft case, okay? Now there's a carrying pouch inside right here for your cords and whatnot, but that's pretty much the pouch right there. Okay, so here's the headphones themselves. As you can see, I mean, they're pretty small. So as a comparison, these are the Beats by Dr. Dre Studios. Now, what's the difference between the Studios and the Solos? Well, the Studios have a bit of a bigger driver. They're self-powered, a few other things that we can complain about or love, and so, but we're talking about the Solos right here. I've already posted a Studios review if you want to check those out. There you go. But for pure size comparisons, I mean, these are tiny compared to the Studios. So these do rest over your ear rather than having your ears fit inside like the Studios do. And we're going to go over the body style really quick. It is a collapsible frame right here. You can also stretch these according to your head size, and they're aluminum or steel, I don't know, some kind of metal that is pretty durable, and they have metal hinges. And then up here, as the headrest, they have this little rubber top, which is nice because it stays attached to your head. I haven't found any uncomfort with it, which is pretty nice. And there you go. So as for the band itself, the band is matte. It's not glossy like the Studios, which is really, really nice because look at these. They are fingerprinted like crazy. And granted, if you hold them by the sides, it won't be that bad. But when you're folding them up and stuff, you gotta touch that part. So I'm glad they went matte with these, which means, you know, there's no glossy, which means no fingerprints, none of that stuff. You've got the Silver Beats logo right there, just some metal glued on, and then you're good to go. Now, down below, there's the drivers that are fully rotational. I really like these. They move up and down on this axis right here, which is hinged right through there, and then in that hinge itself, there's ways to move this way. So even though you're flat here, you can move this way. So there's fully rotational, you know, headphone driver pieces right there, which are really nice. This, I still can't really tell. I think it's plastic, but it feels metal because it's a lot colder than everything else. I think it's plastic, but it's a very, very nice, beautiful silver paint finish. And then you've got the pads right here, which are very, very comfortable. The comfort level on these headphones, I've worn some very uncomfortable headphones, and they're never enjoyable. These were pretty comfortable for about 2 hours. After then, it got like the pressure was a little too overwhelming. And I mean, these ones, the Studios, these never get, I mean, these are heavy. These are a pound, but they never hurt on your head. I could wear these all day long every single day and they wouldn't ever hurt me at all. These might start to hurt after a little while for a few people. Some people it may not matter, but for me after about 2 to 3 hours it started to hurt my head a little bit. So you launch these bands down according to your head size. I'm about there, but as you can see there's left and right markings, okay? And then you're able to place these over your head. Excellent, pretty simple, just like headphones. Now what we're going to do now is get into the cable. This cable is the, not the Sonnet Talk, it's called Control Talk, okay? Now this does have an L-bent shape, which does fit the original iPhones, by the way. I kind of bashed it in the beginning because I didn't like that it was so swingy, and I'm still not a fan. The good things is unlike these kind of cables, unlike this cable right here from the Studios, if you break that off, you can stick it in your phone and then break it off. There's no way you're going to break this one off in your phone or in your pocket. So I have no worries about running in my pocket and tripping, because you're not going to break this joint right here. Whereas if you have some leverage right here, you can snap that part pretty easy. Okay. So the cable's red to match the Beats. Now, they come in white and black, I forgot to mention, but let's get to the cable first. Now, this is extremely thick. I only wish you knew what a regular iPod or, regular headphone looked like in comparison. They're just tiny cables. This is about 3 to 4 times the size, which is good because it never tangles. You never have problems with tangling, which is my number one complaint with headphones. There is none in the Beats by Dre Solos. The cord is pretty long. It's probably 3 feet. I don't know for sure. Rough estimate, maybe 36 inches. But this is the coolest part of the whole thing right here. Okay, now this is called Control Talk, and if you've seen your iPhone 3GS controllers or other things like that, there was the original iPhone clicker, which came with, the original iPhone, and then the iPhone 3G, and it was just a single button click, not that one, it was just a single, there was just a box, and you clicked it, it would be able to play, pause, jump forward, jump backwards, and then you could double tap and hold to go forward and try. And now what they've done is they've changed this in the Apple headphones, which Beats by Dre implements, which is really cool. Now, it doesn't work on all the old devices. It only works on, I think, the new Classics, the new Nanos, 4th and 5th gen Nanos. It works on the Classic, the last generation, 6.0 and 6.5. And then it works on the iPhone 3G, iPhone 3GS. I think it works on the original iPhone as well, as for volume. But this main center button works on all phones, all devices, pretty much. It will be able to answer and take calls, to jump music, to navigate that way. And then there's the buttons, up and down volumes, which come in handy, definitely. Now you can see that right there, that little hole. That is, in fact, a mic focus camera. As you can see, that's a mic slot, and then there's this metal button, which is a standalone button, and then you have this rocker right here. Okay, now that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the functions. This hooks in right to your headphones, and then this will hook into your music or audio source. So there you go. Hooks in there. You can turn the volume up. I'm using just an iPod Shuffle because it will work with the iPod Shuffle, which is really, really nice. I love that. I have to be careful with music that I'm playing because I am a YouTube partner and can't have copyrighted music in there, so we're just going to talk over this. La 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 la. Okay, so there you go. You can stop it, but it works. I've gotten an overwhelming amount of questions that I was like, well, duh. And it's, does it work with my iPod or does it work with my Creative Zen? It works with, I'm going to go the long mile and say every single MP3 player, every single portable CD player. This is a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. I mean, they're standards on everything except for phones. The newer phones do have this 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, but older phones, older Nokias, they won't have this. But most of those phones didn't play music anyway. So for MP3 players, iPods, this is going to work out for you, okay? So I'm going to talk about the sound itself really quickly. There's definitely a few good things about it and a few bad things about it, okay? So the bass is pumping. Let me start out with that. When I first tried them out in the Apple Store, I was actually overwhelmed. I didn't like that there was so much bass. I have the Studios, and the bass in these is, it's nice. But this is even greater bass than these. So if you're looking for thumping bass, get these and not these. But these, I mean, this still sounds spectacular in the lower end range, in the lower bass ends. Okay, now when you get into the mids and trebles, it gets a little bit muddy. Trebles were actually pretty good, but mids were, I'm gonna say they're really muddy. It was a little bit disappointing that they were so muddy, and it just wasn't crisp. It wasn't exactly how I wanted it. Now, granted, the bass and the treble was good. So, I mean, if all you're gonna be listening to is rap, people talking, and, there's a big thumping beat in the background, these are awesome. But if you're gonna be listening to pop, classic, you gotta be careful with what you choose. So, as for alternative dance, I loved it. I don't even know where to start. Lady Gaga, Cobra, Starship, 303, they all really worked. This kind of trancey kind of stuff, it all worked good. As for punk, Pearl Jam, other bands like that, it was pretty good. Rap, TI, 50 Cent, it was kind of hit and miss. It was pretty good. 50 Cent mostly, it was good. TI, you know, he does a little bit of instrumental stuff, and it was kind of at points. But pretty good most of all. Folk music, I do listen to a little bit of it. It was pretty good, actually. Now, alternative, rock, pop, as there are mids and highers, it did get a little bit questionable. It was still good, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't quite there. Not quite what you'd want for a pair of $170, $180 headphones. So while they were good, they weren't quite perfect. So this is the final review on the Beats Solos. They're available from Monster.com, BestBuy.com, and Apple.com. They're pretty good headphones. For the price, $170, $220. I mean, it's quite a bit of money for, you know, just over-the-ear headphones. They did sound good. There's definitely headphones that are good in the lower price range that, you know, pretty much match this. Sennheiser makes great stuff. Audio-Technica makes great stuff. That's cheaper than this and sounds about the same. But if you do want the Beats kind of logo style, it's made by Monster, a great company in terms of customer service. I mean, you email them with a problem, they get it fixed out, which is major for me. Sennheiser, it's a hit and miss with customer service, but Beats, Monster does an excellent job. So you can get these from beatsbydre.com. I don't remember exactly what they run. The price has been fluctuating. I want to say $170, but lately I think they jumped up to $230. So, you know, just check those out. There's also the new Solo HDs, which I really want to get my hands on because those are cool. HD meaning high definition, and it is like a physical HD experience. They have bigger drivers, and I think they have this kind of 3D technology. I'm actually trying to get a Monster representative to come and talk with me about all their new models. They released P. Diddy Beats, a new DJ style headphones, so we'll have to check them out. But overall, Beats by Dr. Dre, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it about a 7. They were a little bit muddy at some points, but on some songs, some genres, they were excellent. So you just got to be careful. You got to know what you listen to, and, you know, go ahead to the Apple Store or to Best Buy, try them out before you buy them, because it is kind of a selective purchase. So that is the Beats by Dre Solos by Monster, and I hope you enjoyed the review. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and visit our sponsors at unlimitedcase.com for the latest and greatest in iPod and iPhone accessories. This is That Snazzy iPhone Guy. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay snazzy.